Listen, and I want it to be known right now, Randy Moss is one of the biggest fans of Odell Beckham. He did a one-on-one interview. You could probably find it on YouTube with him and Odell Beckham. Listen to that interview, please. And the reason why I say it like that is because when they're side by side, you see the difference. Moss is about 6'4". Odell Beckham's about 6 foot tall. And Moss could run a 4.15. Had the best hands in football. And Odell Beckham has great hands. But he don't have the mental capabilities of Randy Moss. Randy was so smart, it surprised people how much he knew. He knew every defensive set. He knew every offensive set. He was so aware on what the defense was doing that Randy Moss could easily be a coach in the NFL. He coached his quarterbacks. He coached other wide receivers. You even heard Chris Carter say, as a rookie, me and Randy would call audibles. And we'll switch positions on the other side of the field. And we'll let the coaches know we did it, and if it didn't work out and we got chewed out, we took the blame and said, okay, that was our call. But there's no way I would sit there and say Odell Beckham is better than Randy Moss. But these younger kids, they're today, right now, this is what I'm seeing in front of my face. So you're caught up into the wow moment of what's happening in front of you, and you're forgetting about yesteryear. And I've seen Randy Moss. I've seen his impact on the entire NFL. And Odell Beckham isn't it. Believe me, if there was a player greater than Randy Moss coming out, I would stop the presses. I mean, a player that just stop you in traffic. You stop what you're doing to notice him. I have not seen that. I would say Ezekiel Elliott has more of an impact on the game than coming out than Odell Beckham did. I mean, this is a league where it's predicated on you scoring. I mean, you can't tackle the quarterback. You can't tackle the wide receiver. You can't tackle the running backs no more now. I just saw a guy get penalty for making a tackle. And I'm like, wow, he just made a tackle. And they just penalized him for tackling the guy. Where they do that at? So, y'all tell me. What do y'all think? And everybody like, man, look at the numbers, man. He doing everything faster than Moss. He's supposed to. If Randy Moss played in this league right now, he would average 20 touchdowns a season. There's no way you can tell me you gonna get one catch in this type of system where they're not allowed to take your head off. Helmet to helmet hits was legal. I mean, Freak played in a league where it was deemed necessary to lay you out. Every quarterback he has played with, he has made better. Odell Beckham has played with one quarterback and has not played one playoff game in 4 seasons. This will be his first time playing in the playoffs. But he's so good. Randy Moss was so great. He made his team better. Even when the team was lethargic, pathetic, had nothing, they still went to the playoffs, losing to the Rams, but they kept going it off because they had Randy Moss. They were losing to teams like Jeff George. They had Jeff George back there. They kept losing to the St. Louis with Marshall Faulk and the Greatest Show on Turf. Freak was out there battling. Jeff George, best numbers he ever had in his whole career is when he played Randy Moss. Every quarterback will tell you he makes your job a lot easier. Everybody talk about numbers. It's not always about the numbers. Y'all say Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, but Kareem got better numbers than Michael all the way around, don't he? So is Kareem number one because of his numbers? He's one of the greatest, but it's not always about the numbers. Randy was aware that he's the greatest receiver to ever do it. It's no disrespect to Jerry Rice. Jerry feels he's number one, and he should. But you got Steve Largent, you got Jerry Rice, and you got Randy Moss. Those are like the top three. You got Art Monk. You can put Art Monk in that category. I mean, there was a lot of great receivers that played this game. But do I think impact on the field wise, Odell Beckham is one of the greatest? No. He made some great circus catches, but he's yet to prove in himself to me that he's the man that could turn a game around. Take the game over. I mean, he should be averaging 2 touchdowns a game. 3 touchdowns a game. I mean, the way the league is, it's like, are you kidding me? If you got that type of ability, why are you not scoring? The DBs are not even allowed to touch you anymore. And you still ain't scoring like you should be? So, if you look at the thing numbers, what they got now, put those in the days just back in 2001. And all of this happened due to fantasy football. The league wanted more scoring. They used to black out games in Cincinnati, Cleveland, and make people go to see the games at the stadium. Like, you got to buy a ticket, or we just blocking out the games. Fantasy football changed that. Because now, you got players on that team, you got to see what's going on. People got to go to the games. They want to see what's happening with their players. And now you're paying attention to games like Cleveland versus Tennessee, a game nobody would be paying attention to. Now you do, because you got the running back, you got the wide receiver. And I played fantasy football back when it started, back when they had the Kurt Warners and the Marshall Faulks. You know, it was like, what, 99 when we were playing? It was on Yahoo. It was a lot different then. But now, look, everybody's got it. The NFL Fantasy Football Challenge. Win $10,000. You know, I'm like, they got every reason, every excuse, everything in the bag to try to change the game, to make it better. And then try to compare these players to yesterday's players. And as you can see, it can never be done. Like, you cannot compare Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors to the 96 Bulls. That team wouldn't even survive in that league. They wouldn't even made the playoffs. That's how physical and rough that league was. Steph Curry would be a guy that came off the bench and gave you 6 points. If that. There was nothing he'll be able to do with the Bulls, Knicks, Bucks, Pacers, and no, he couldn't even survive that division. Even the Spurs in that division back then were tough. There's nothing they could have done. But Randy Moss was a freak of nature when he played. Randy had everything. He was fast. He had awareness. He had the greatest hands you ever seen. Greatest footwork you've ever seen. Did I mention he was fast? He was a game changer. There has never been anything like him ever in the NFL. I was stopped in motion when I saw Barry Sanders. I was stopped in motion when I saw Bo Jackson. I was stopped in motion when I saw Randy Moss. There are very few players that you see and they are born to be great. Brett Favre, I knew he was the real deal. He was great. He wasn't a good guy, good quarter. He was great. He was a born winner. Tom Brady, born winner. These are the guys that transcend sports. Odell Beckham is yet to prove he's just not another fast receiver who's catching open passes on a basically a weak defense or in a watered down league where this stuff is the norm. But anyway, I'm out. Enjoy your New Year's and thank you guys for watching the videos and supporting the videos. If you think Odell Beckham is better than Randy Moss, please tell me why. And give me a great argument. Because everybody else I completely shut down today. So we'll handle that situation when it comes. Well, if anybody got more questions, something that's very interesting that'll make me pay attention to it. But other than that, subscribe, and I am out.